Right then. Hello, folks. Welcome to the next Cody stream. Oh, we'll hide that. Poop. There we are. How's it going, everyone? Hey, Khan. Hey, Cryptic. Hello, Bwingu. Hello, Kiryu. Hello, Jerome. Have I said everyone's name yet? Oh, hi, Bruce.
Hi there, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. Max is with me again today. We've been doing a little bit of work before the stream. We had a chat about the format that these kind of streams are going to take, and we're very aware that when we get talking to you folks, we don't get a lot of work done.
We don't do much.
Yeah, not a lot of work happens, and we get all confused because we're busy talking to you as well. So what we've done today is we did a little bit of work before the stream, and we're going to show the bits and bobs that we're doing in the hope that you gain a better understanding of the work that we do, and of course I'm sure some pretty ships will happen as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right, today we're gonna
Apparently, according to
Wingu or Draken. He is also called Draken.
I am very quiet.
Well, that's never happened before.
Yeah.
How's that then? How's that, chat?
Test.
Oh God. He should be more or less as loud as I am now, I expect.
Well, there are places where one of us is louder, but depends on whose turn it is, really.
There you go. So is Max at a reasonable volume now?
I just checked the stream on Twitch. I'm alright.
Hey Oscar, how you going, my man? The man with many names. So what I've been doing since, well, I think yesterday, I showed a little bit off of the work that I was doing on the UI yesterday with Bane. I've worked a little bit more on it, and we'll just open the game up and show. One thing that I probably should do is get rid of all these windows because they're confusing for everyone. Press F, A, and E. So there you go. This is what the UI is looking at right now, and this is where all the button locations are going to end up on this little central menu. Kiryu feels the need to switch to Twitch. Strings for the string god. Oh god, anything but. Now, one thing that is not done yet at all are any of these buttons. So this is using all the stock buttons. However, if we hover over them in the right place, just for example, if I get this, you can see it does light up for this entire segment, and if I was to press on the outside, that works, as we can see. So we've got the locations right, we've got the buttons right, we can ping things, we can turn autoplay structures on and off, and we also have, we're on the planet right now, you can see we've got our planet health, and our allegiance, and I think artifacts, something to do with explored. Yeah, that is, if we click on a ship, we've got its health, its shield, and its antimatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if we click off everything, this is our rank. So everything is working as intended, more or less on this menu. We just need to make the buttons now. I'm quite happy with it. What do you guys think?
Location-wise.
Yeah, do you think this is going to be something that works nicely for you? Down in this this big picture section, we may edit the size of this a little bit yet. So, if
notification buttons will be changed. Bring you.
Yes, well, they are deformed because they're still using the stock buttons. We haven't made any new buttons. We're just making the surround UI at the moment. I will, in fact, I might just make a button for it during the course of this as an example. What, you think I should do that, Max?
We don't have any sheets set up for it.
Well, what I'll probably do is I'll use the sheet that you have here for the Connie class, and then I'll just put another image in it and code it in image. Let's just have a little read. Looks better. Oh, you're liking that overall?
Remember, this is just the red outline stuff. Is just
yeah, the red outlines aren't going to be there; they'll be gone.
We'll make it all snazzy looking and stuff.
I expect so, yeah. It's going to be better than it is right now, because this is a very, very rough version. But I think it gets all the information where you want it. Like, you know, you've got all your pricings, you've got your various different buttons that you want to press here. And it feels pretty right. I've done game speed up and game speed down over here rather than kind of on the picture, because I just felt like game speed up is probably something you're going to use quite a lot in single player, so why not have it over here?
Indeed, Aroni.
Now, it's worth pointing out that I'm not a UI artist by any stretch of the imagination, so this is kind of thrown together. It may be that Max or Hobbs go over it at a later date in order to make it better. In fact,
pretty.
Yeah, I think it's more than likely that they will once I've coded it in. This is in an effort to allow me to code it properly. I think that's fair to state, isn't it? But should we try putting one button in, just to see what that would look like? I think what
I'm going to be working on... What was I going to be working on?
Ooh.
I was going to be working on something. I was just looking... This happens all the time. Oh, yes. Oh, that's a secret.
Well, you've already done some sounds today, haven't you? You've been working on that quite hard.
Sounds phases no longer sound like they're going to destroy your ears.
I think you've done some other bits and bobs as well, haven't you? You've been looking at the beeps and bloops that the menu does.
Yeah, the menu bleeps and bloops are in.
Excellent. Now, I don't have these at the moment, so it doesn't beep and bloop.
The Federation phases now have a distinction between light and stronger phaser sound, so frigates have a higher pitch phaser sound in comparison to a cruiser and a cap, for example, so, you know, just to tweak that a bit.
So you get kind of a deeper, more reverberating sounds from the cruisers because they've got heavier weapons?
Well, more like there's a lighter version of it. You know.
I got you. That's good. Hey, Centurion, how you doing, my man? Sorry, I didn't say hello to you earlier, and I just noticed that you were here. Would it be an idea to swap the notification buttons on the other side so they have a little more room? Keep them stacked on top. Well, what we're going to be doing is the notifications... I imagine that you've more than likely all seen or played Ascendancy. Their notifications play out in a slightly different way. And they're lengthways. So this whole segment is going to be a notification button. And you'll get like a little, probably a flashing thing or something like that that comes up there in each one of them. So this, you can see a picture there right now. It's going to be a flashing thing telling you that something's happened. So that is the plan. Bane's not joining, no. He's been out gallivanting in a wildlife park with his wife and daughter today, so he's been a busy bee. And I doubt whether he's going to be on. If he does ask to join the call, of course. Right, let's try and make a button, shall we? I think we'll go for the develop planet button. You reckon? Right, let's pause it. So what we need to do is we need to go into the window file. If I go back,
go to the wall.
The window. And we go to icons and UI, and we've got this template here. Now this template is what I'm going to use. You can see we've got various different colours. I don't think we know what the colour we're going to use for the surround is yet. So should we go with a nice red? Nah, should we stick with the yellow one?
But I think I've already made a button for a planet unlock. If you look at the template that we've done.
Oh look. Well, that's a planet unlock though, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not looking. This is a planet development button that I'm thinking of.
I know, but if you look at the planet unlock one, and if you take all the planetary bits about it,
I think that's all that's in it.
No, there's more.
Oh, what's this?
The one below that.
Hey, that works.
Layer.
So it'll be a little bit further out. Also, we still have that in there. There we go. That's better. Yeah, we could use that. I think that would be perfectly acceptable.
And I think, you know, this would fall under engineering, so yellow.
Yeah, well, as I say, we're likely to use a generic colour for the surround, ultimately. Because it needs to affect both races, and I don't know if you're playing as the Klingons.
Those are faction specific, though. We can tweak those easily.
They can be, but do we want them to be is the question. That's something to discuss a little bit later. So we'll save this. In fact, let's flatten the image first. Image, flatten. There, flatten image. One thing I do need to check is, no, we don't. How do I add a little layer in here for an alpha?
Sorry?
I need an alpha channel.
There already one.
We've got RGB, red, green, and blue.
Oh yeah, now that you've flattened it, maybe, but.
Oh, okay. We didn't like that then.
Well, I mean, if you, I think I had an alpha already set up, or else it's just easy enough, so you can just, you know.
No.
But we haven't. I don't think maybe making a button isn't that useful right now because I haven't set up any grids for everything, and we haven't decided what the press down is going to look like.
This is an example for the audience. It's got absolutely nothing to do with the final product. I felt like it might be nice for them to understand how buttons overall are going to be made and how they're going to fit in.
Yeah, fair enough. But then, yeah, I think you're going to just have to erase the black bits, you know, just to make an alpha channel yourself.
Okay, so we'll call this blue one here, alpha, shall we?
Right, picture sequence.
In fact, I can just duplicate a channel, can't I? That'll do. Duplicate channel.
I'm also just working on an experiment.
We'll call that alpha. Right, excellent. So we've got an alpha here. I think the easiest way for me to be able to create the alpha is likely going to be... Take the alpha off. There we go. There's not a lot to it, really, because we've only got a couple of bits and bobs. So I think what I'll do is I will get my little select tool, which is hiding. There you go, the magic marker of doom. And it doesn't like that because I haven't got all the layers compressed. Just got to flatten again. And we should still have our alpha in there. Yeah, look at that. There you go, now I'm motoring. Grab these little bits. Go to our alpha channel. We need these bits black. If we select the inverse, that's this bit, we need all of that to be white. So let's grab our brush. This isn't the way I would expect you to do it if you were a modder, guys. I'm an idiot. So there we go. So there's an alpha channel. What an alpha channel does here is it denotes the bits that are actually going to be shown on screen. Anything black will not be shown on screen. Anything white will be shown on screen. So effectively, if we include the whole lot, anything that is now in a deep red, that isn't going to be shown on your screen. So we've got our button here. Let's save it as as a man joking. We're going to save it within textures, and we're going to call it planet button example for a moment. And it's a target that we want, isn't it, for that?
Sorry?
Is it a target that we want for these?
Yeah, for the buttons for now, for a test.
Boop. There we go. So, planet button example. Nice, easy one. Now, the other thing that we need to check while we're here is how large it is. It's 85/60. Don't let me forget that, folks.
Just checking. I think I made an experiment folder somewhere.
Oh, excellent. Right, so now what we need to do is we need to create something that denotes where it lives. Now, we can technically do this anywhere, but I think if we go to, say, HUD icon ability, dot brushes, it'll give you an idea of what they all look like. So, this is the way it works. You get a single brush, you have the name of your brush. It has different states, so if you hover over it, if you're pressing it, cursor over focus, normal, you can change the colours on that button. We're not going to do it for this example, but we do have to use that particular context. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this segment. We're going to pop it up there. We've now got 293 brushes, mustn't forget about that. And we also need to grab the texture. Do you remember what it was called, folks? I think it was called example something, wasn't it? Oh god, what did I call it? Oh, planet button example. Planet button example. Click rename, grab it. There we go. Come back here. And each of these segments needs to know where the file lives. Nice and easy. Now, we know with our pixel box, it's actually the exact size of the item. So everything always starts from the top left. So this is going to be all 0. That's the X position, so it starts at the very left-hand side. And this is from the top, so that also starts at 0 within the file. So there we go. The cursor is very much at the top left-hand side of the image at the moment. This denotes how far right it moves, so it's 85. Now, of course, these values would likely be different if you'd made different states for the button. And 60. And this is going to be called, rather unsurprisingly, Planet Example Button. There we go. Perfect. So let's save that. We've now made a brush file which locates where the texture lives on a particular, within a particular file. If the file was much bigger, we could have several of these buttons and we could just change these locations here in order to ensure that we got the right bits. The last thing that we need to do is if we go to Game Info, we find it's Player UFP that we want to look for with this particular button. It's down here somewhere, I promise. There it is. Now, way down here, underneath the hyperspace data, we should be able to find our different buttons, hopefully, from what I remember. I'm right about this, aren't I, Max?
I am not entirely sure.
Uh-oh. Okay, unknown planet. These are all the HUD icons. We're going to find it eventually. What's the thing called to start with? It's called Develop Planet. So we can probably do a little search for Develop in there. And I'm pretty sure it's with... Nope. Watch these be generic buttons now.
Sorry, Chris, I'm just sorry that I seem a bit distracted. If I can get this done.
It's alright, my friend. Don't you worry. Upgrade planet population. That's from this root button. So... Open... Haha! There it is. Action icon, open upgrade management. Like so. And that's close. We found it. So if we replace this texture file with this... with our new name, theoretically what's going to happen is the image itself is going to change. It may not happen while we're in game, unfortunately. No, it hasn't, unfortunately. So what we might need to do is we might need to very quickly quit out and then come back in. I think part of the reason it didn't do it is because I put it in the wrong place.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Not even a little bit. There we go, we'll try that again. Right, you're all probably asking questions, folks. You're mostly talking about Space Marines, I see. Which is fine. A single guardsman is equal to 0.001 orc. Okay. How did we get onto Warhammer 40k? How did this happen? We're trekking right now. Right, okay. Let's see if this has now worked. And if it hasn't, we'll blame Max because he's been very quiet throughout this entire experience. Downloading mods through Twitch. How'd you do that? Is that a thing? Kiryu, are you reading one of the Ghosts Gaunt series? Gaunt's Ghosts series? Jerome, you're not missing anything per se, but we've also got a YouTube chat on the go, of course. So everybody in the YouTube chat is just jabbering about Warhammer 40k, as they do. Ah, Hayden said he hated 40k.
Oh, you might not want to mention that when Bane's around. That will get some serious things going. Well, just to let the people know what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make a some really, really next level explosions, something that Sins hasn't seen yet.
Well, fingers crossed we can have a look at that in a couple of minutes if you're willing.
Yeah, definitely. First needs to work.
And hey look, we've got a new button, folks. And that, if we just click on the planet, is more like what it's going to look like. So the new button, it's this button down here, look, develop planet. That new button is going to fill up more or less the entire area of these little red bands. So you're not going to get red bands there, you're just going to have a new button. The button will have state, so if you hover over it, it'll change colour slightly, or it'll light up, or something like that. No spelling errors today, amazingly, so far. Hey Lorendal, how you doing, my man? So what do you think of that overall? Just as an example, if we had a button on each one of these that looked a little bit like this one, how would you feel about it? Also, I don't think you've seen it with a button in situ, have you, Max?
No, I haven't.
Take a peek.
Let's have a look-see, shall we?
Of course, it doesn't light up or anything, but...
It does look nice, doesn't it?
It looks okay. I think that's going to work really nicely. Yeah, I'm really, really pleased with the result of that. Ringu says, Gul, ... Why are you asking if I'm ill? What's happening?
Better dead than dead, I guess.
Oh, because I haven't spelt anything incorrectly so far.
Prerequisite.
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 Prerequisite. That's the one. Click the button, it causes self-destruct. No, it doesn't. It allows you to upgrade your planet. Look at me doing things right.
Oh, gold.
Now gold.
Tests.
So there we go. That's the kind of work that we've been doing on the UI over the last couple of days. Hopefully I'm going to have a lot more to show you next week with some of the actual icons in situ and working as intended. And hopefully it's going to be a lot more refined. At least, fingers crossed, right? Right, Max?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers, legs, arms, everything crossed. Now, are you happy if I head over to your screen?
Well, there's not much to show for it at the moment, but there you can. What I'm trying to do is, this is a test grid that I've done.
Here we go. I'm just bringing it over for the guys to see.
This is just a test explosion that shrinks itself in again, but I'm having a bit of trouble with the particle. It's doing what I wanted. So I'm just going to make an explosion test.
Okie dokie. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Particle Forge in action before, but we're going to be watching a little bit of this today. My quality of your screen isn't amazing, so I apologise to that about that for the chat. Will the scuttle button be changed? Yes. I'm good, Lorendal. I'm good. Thank you so much for asking.
Text animation, 32 frames per second. Text animation name. See, now it doesn't work on this, but what I do is I just want to test it. Save as particle. Explosion. Test. And what we're going to do...
Oh! Oh my, that's changed.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to just go to...
YouTube is about 15 to 20 seconds behind as a rule for me. I don't know why that's the case. It just always is. Oh, Cryptic, Thunderstruck by AC/DC. Do you know we were singing some classic tunes earlier? We had a bit of Queens of the Stone Age on the go, didn't we? I was talking about... I was talking about Rainbow. Since You've Been Gone. Toto, Africa. That's one thing I have to be quite careful about. If I'm broadcasting exclusively on YouTube, I can use pretty much whatever song I like without too much fear. It just demonetizes the video, which is kind of immaterial at my subscribership, if you will, or my viewership. Whereas Twitch, it just mutes the whole damn thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if I'm streaming on Twitch as well, I can't play any naughty music. Why are you singing Celine Dion? Cryptic's, he's that kind of guy.
I'm hoping this works, because if this works, we can make some really, really cool explosions.
Didn't look like I was working.
No, but the particle forge is sometimes funny. You see, kids, we've got a bunch of explosions. Let me go to my Axe Now Revival, and then we're going to do explosions for clips. Now, if you look at things like this, if we can get these kinds of animations in game as a texture animation on a particle, oh, like, can you imagine if something like this is like a fire effect that you see after a ship explodes?
Okay, that would be super cool. I'm glad you're trying this. That isn't to say that we can definitely do it, but we're really going to have a damn good go.
But what I've done is I've attached it to the mine. Just going to spawn a mine layer.
Oh, this is actually a new ability. I don't think people have seen this before as well, so... Good stuff to see. Now, mines in Ages of the Federation, they're going to be able to damage your own ships, so you could probably want to be fairly careful. You can see that Max hasn't got the My UI changes quite yet. Now, the mine takes a little minute or two to set itself up.
Oh.
Oh.
Maximum of frames, extra frames ignored.
Oh my.
So we're going to see if we can set them...
It seems to want to work, doesn't it?
32.
Maybe a few more?
Well, no, I think I might have to reload the game for this. But if we can set it to 32, at least we can do 32 frame animations, which is nice as well. But in order to get anything really smooth out of thing, you'd have 64 really.
Apparently YouTube overall is a lot louder than Twitch is. I'm not sure why that's the case either, my friend.
Maybe just change your volume.
No, well, of course, if I change my volume for YouTube, it will massively change it for Twitch as well, so... Then we'll just have to cope with it as it is.
Isn't it annoying that this is just blacked out now? Oh,
oh thanks for GT, you're an absolute
star. I
star.
missed that redacted face icon.
Some of those explosions look like they go on a little too long.
I am sorry! By the way, you might recognize this explosion from TNG. Let me try to grab it. I think that was... Is it in the 0GF? I think it's one of these. Not this one. No.
Definitely not that one.
That's one with the 3.
Yeah, Twitch just got better. There we go.
find it. It's one of the most iconic explosions you see in sci-fi series. Well, this is one definitely used in this. Boom. Oh, I love this one.
Bit of fire on the go.
Is it? Oh, it's in here. It's a very distinct explosion.
You've already done that one. Sorry, folks. He's going to be doing this all day.
I'm missing one. I feel like I'm missing one.
Could it be the Ringber one? Hey, Technicist, how's things going, my man? You good?
It's a really high res one. I've lost it now. It's just annoying. Oh well.
You'll find it at some point, I'm sure.
One layer.
Boo says Max has finally lost it.
Bit too late for that now.
Gull is getting impatient. Yeah, it's kind of my way.
Quickly, get out of there.
Bigly.
Ah, still can't do 32 frames. Well, I'm guessing this experiment was a failure. I'm sorry, folks. Sorry to disappoint.
That's an absolute bugger, isn't it? I mean, can you go higher than 32 frames a second, do you think?
No, you can't go higher than 32 frames.
Damn.
I mean, I'm at 32 frames and it's already too many frames. Which is a shame. However, what we can use is... New idea.
Idea.
What I can do... Oh, by the way, people, the best GIF in the world.
God.
You remember that? Now I'm going to do a new experiment.
Do you have a copy of the old We Are Klingons image anywhere?
I've tried to find it. I cannot find it. I am very much ashamed of this.
Damn it. I'll have to remake
So
it.
we're going to do a new test experiment. So we're going to go to explosions, or what was it? Effects. Yeah, there we go. Grab a whole bunch.
I feel like we're watching the opening of MacGyver over and over again.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. So let's take 4 of these. What's the size of these? That's 512. So let's make a new image. 1024. We're going to actually apply this to a particle effect that we already have. What we're going to do is when we're going to make things a bit interesting. We're going to take a bunch of similarly colored explosions.
Yeah.
Let's rotate you. So it's not obvious that they're from the same sequence. That bothers me.
Fix it. Fix it. Fix it!
So,
Okay.
I'm going to call this explosion. No, let's call it properly FX explosion random. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new texture animation. Get rid of explosion test because that didn't work.
So you're trying to create an explosion that chooses one of those textures, right?
Well, it's actually I can already do that. So I'm going to copy damage fire and we're going to call it explosion random. What we're going to do is we're going to go here. I'm going to go take. Now, if only I remembered what I named the texture.
Rumpy Pumpy Pudding and Pie.
Now, if I correctly made them 512, 512, so that's 512, 4 frames to grow. Yes, all right. Now we've set that up. Yeah, that doesn't work. Let's open Explosion Capital Ship Fed. So right now that just uses what you see, that it uses the same explosion texture on a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to change it 0 frames per second, random frames, and we're going to just apply the texture animation. Now, because it doesn't know it yet, I'm going to do it like this. It's going to look weird because I haven't set up the particle of save it first. Particle 2. Now what we're going to quickly do is we're going to restart Particle Forge and we're going to copy.
Oh, so if you restart it once it knows something, it will show it off properly, will it?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting to know.
Now if I open...
No, I don't think Max made the textures himself, no.
Now if you look, see? Now they do work. And you'll see that they've got a bunch of variety in the explosion textures now. See that?
Yeah, that's good.
I think we can go up to a bit higher so we can make a 16. So we can choose out of 16 different textures, which should make explosions a bit more dynamic in the game.
Yeah, does this mean the explosion overall it's going to look different each time? Oh yeah, so it does.
Yes.
I mean, they're quite similar at the moment, but...
Yeah, every particle, because the particles are quite similar, but I've got some explosion packs now that I can...
Nice.
From.
So you can make a nice little sheet of 16, say, okay. When it says step within the file there...
that's how big a step each frame is that it will detect.
I see. But it will still choose randomly from any of those frames, or does it do it in order?
Yep. No, that's what I said. If you set texture FPS to... if you set the... let's see, in the first fireball. Spawn type random frames.
Oh, nice. Very cool.
So I can also set FPS to 15, so it'll go... See, that one just go...
Oh god, what just happened?
Say that as fed too, but yeah, some stuff going now.
All pretty damn good.
Let's get some explosions then. Explosion textures.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna... Did not.
So this is one of the things that we wanted to show off. As most of you who are here...
Not entirely as planned, but...
Oh, wow. As most of you have played Star Trek Armada 3, you know there's a lot of unique particle effects in it. We felt like it was important to show you how long it can take to make the particle effects and how much effort goes into them. Because I don't think people realise, do they, generally speaking?
No.
How long tiny little aspects of the game that you might not even notice can take. And the answer is fudging ages.
Go.
Very nice. Explosion effects are very good. Now, is there anything, while Max is working on this for a little bit, is there anything that anybody wants to see that might currently be in game? So if you've got any suggestions about what you want to see, let us know. And if it's already done, we'll show you. If it's not, we'll give you an idea about the kind of thing that we're planning to do. We don't like to be too specific, because that can itself cause issues, because it will be quite different. The fourth faction, see, there you go, we can't show you that.
Oh, we can, but we won't.
Well, yes.
Oh, no, wait, we actually can't yet.
No, we can't. No, we removed all traces of it, didn't we? For the time being.
Well, I was thinking more of the fact that we don't have anything for it in game yet.
No, that's true. Yeah. We did, but we hid it. Gul, will you stream Star Trek Online? I very occasionally do for little community streams because it means more of the community can kind of get together, and we do raids and missions and things together very occasionally. I'm not very good at it. I should stress that. It's down to my discretion when we do streams like that. It depends on when I want to do it, if I'm honest. Star Trek Online, it doesn't grab my attention consistently, so I might go away for a few months and then come back to it, play a few weeks in a row, and then I'll go away again. That's just the way I do things when it comes to games of that nature, particularly if it's not part of my core content. Bane plays it more than I do. I don't think he's done more streams than I do. I think we've done an equal amount, but...
Bane at least puts out.
Bane at least puts out. Is that where we're going with this?
Yes.
Some bitch.
See, this also could be really interesting, Chris, for torpedo impact effects as well, where you can really randomize what you get each time. So not everything looks the same.
I'm pretty sure Bane's got several 60s as well, as have I. I've got a couple of 60 characters.
If anyone's got some questions regarding particles, I'd be happy to answer them, by the way.
I think that would be a good idea. We should try and keep the stream as on track as we can. Okay. Is there a way to tell the game that on a specific hit, this set of explosions should happen?
Well, there's yes and no. So you can set a hit effect on a weapon. So the hit effect is determined by weapon type, not the ship type. So, however, we can cheat. We've done so. For example, with if you remember how we've got that smoke and fire thing coming out of ships, that's the way we've kind of cheated the system. But that's done through
Centurion, thanks for following over on Twitch.
So yes and no. I hope that answers your question.
I think to a limited extent is probably the word of that.
Yeah.
Have I heard of Stargate Origins? Yes, I have. I've been kind of following it in my peripheries, if you will, for a little while.
I'm afraid I'm gonna get very disappointed by it.
I think that's why I haven't really paid massive amounts of attention to it. Soon I'll have a tier 5 Intrepid class, and you're so happy. You want to get some of those tier 6 ships? You want those tier ships?
Scrub.
Tier 6. They're just all too good. Yeah, try not to give us any spoilers, Vegeta. But how are you looking forward to it, my friend? And indeed, actually, out to the community in general, since we're watching the particles happen. Are there any sci-fi series that you guys have been really enthused with lately? I think I'll ask you, Max. Anything that you've seen lately that you're really impressed by?
I've been watching Travelers, which is really nice. It's on Netflix. Personally, it's not really sci-fi, but I'm personally really looking forward to the new Jurassic World movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. It feels like it's about time that one came out, doesn't it?
Well, it is coming out, and was June. It's not long, and it's got some really nice elements from the book as well that some people think, oh, it's nothing like, you know, the writer wouldn't have liked. Michael Crichton wouldn't have liked the direction they're going with, but I honestly think the movie's going to be great. I've also liked Travelers, which is good, and I'm on a rewatch of TNG, to be fair.
Oh, are you again?
Yeah.
Technicist actually has a good question there, which I think is a nice one to answer. Can sin? That's not his question. That's just me coughing. Can
like cancer.
Okay. If it is, you're going to feel bad in a couple of months.
Nah, mate.
Can sins simulate ship texture damage, and can sins simulate ship explosion damage to other ships in the area? Kinda.
Yes and no. Ship visual damage, no, not really, since does not support it. However, AoE damage is doable, and we have some torpedo abilities which use it. However, it's a bit convoluted to set up.
It is, yeah. You have to use a buff chain. So what you do is you have your initial ability, you set it to either a particular target or a particular area. The ability happens, and then a chain of buffs attach themselves to ships and or items that you want to be damaged. And you can choose what does get damaged and what doesn't get damaged within your ability. And that's the way that you would do it. Altered Carbon was quite interesting, Lorandal. I did enjoy that.
I tried watching it. I haven't really gotten into it.
I think people like Altered Carbon a lot more if they were big fans of some of the kind of older sci-fi shows, like Blade Runner. I think is a particularly good example of it.
It had very Blade Runner.
Yeah, it had that feel and that atmosphere, didn't it? The Expanse Season 3, yeah, I'm massively looking forward to that.
I still need to watch Expanse Season 2, so no spoilers, please.
No, we won't give you any spoilers. I've lost the ability to speak today. Spoilers! It's the Italian version of spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers!
New Joyzy, spoilers!
You're gonna be sleeping with the spoilers.
Courier, you're not following on Twitch? I am running my donation thing on Twitch and YouTube, theoretically. If it's not working, let me know, because I might need to fix it.
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Oh, Courier, thank you very much for following.
Actually, we're going to go with Pirates. This F-Jets. I saw that here.
Spoiler! Cryptic's just come back with that again. I always think, every time I stream or I do a video, I think, this is the day. This is the day I'm never going to live this one down.
This is the way the world ends. This is the way we'll bang, but
with a whimper. With a wimple.
What?
Vegeta says he's not watched any of The Expanse. I'd highly recommend it. I find The Expanse thoroughly enjoyable.
You'd hardly recommend it. Why would you hardly recommend it?
I said highly. Brinker's reminding me of my expert sin skills. I need more money. Sells all the metal. Shit, I need metal. I like the fact that Ducat says what instead of what. Indeed. If we ever get a stream raid, that'll be a fun one. On Twitch. But no one ever raids me. No.
How could this happen to me?
How are we getting on with those textures? I've been kind of watching idly while looking at the chat more so.
Well, it's been a while. It's taking its time, so I'm trying to find a nice one.
No, I don't like that one. I like that one.
Down to this, I think I might just look. Mats. Oh wow, it's the actual alpha frames. Useful. Look at some more. See if we can grab some of these. After. That's very purple.
Ah, let's go for some purple ones.
Purple.
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 Oh, good lord. You have so many tabs open, it hurts my brain.
Grab that one.
We're definitely getting there now. I can't wait to see this.
Grab that one.
For me, that's many tabs. Like, I always keep any tabs open to an absolute minimum, guys. It's just the way I do.
I'm not just any Cardassian.
Tyler's now, thank you so much for following. Very nice of you.
So we need 4 more, then we've got a good set.
People.
Oh.
Shapoopy.
Let's see if I can get a good frame of this one.
There. There. They're all good frames.
Shapoopy.
And you will know her yet.
When I signed the Pact of Alliance with the Dominion.
I think that's a nice and violent explosion.
Well, Boingu, thank you so much for the £10 there. It's really nice of you. Also, you have how many tabs open? 600 odd tabs?
Ah, he's just lying.
I thought he was a tiger.
Like a tiger.
You should try working for Sky Tech Support, says Reload Mower. So many tabs and programs open on their systems. I work for Ombudsman Services. I come into contact with Sky occasionally.
I work for a giant insurance firm, buddy. I know what it's like. Did I use that one already? Yeah, I did.
Oh, thank you so much, Towers. Now says I've been following along from Gul Gaming for years now, and I love the mods you guys make. Sirs, keep them coming. Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Brinker says I'm sadly not. I need to clear those tabs out. And you said I needed to update my link as well, so I will get round to doing that. I'll have a chat to you later on, Bringu, so you can remind me.
Yeah,
about
link's
it.
outdated anyway. Update to Skype for Business, Chris.
What?
Microsoft Link is outdated. Update to Skype for Business.
I don't understand. I do not understand.
2 more.
Reload Mower says it wasn't me then, because I mentioned the dreaded OS. I'll never blame you. But if I get any complaints that come through to me, I'll be like, no. Do you know who it wasn't? Reload Mower.
Now who it wasn't? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, eh?
Technicist also would like to know how we did the Romulan, you know, the Romulan singularity implosion effect.
Ah, it's just a bunch of particle trickery doodah.
Hmm.
Nothing special, really.
Well, perhaps you could open that in Particle Forge before we end the stream.
Perhaps I could just finish what I'm doing in a second.
All right, you can finish this first.
Damn.
Cryptic says Discord won't open, and now he's screeing apparently.
Skria. But those were like the horrible people with the skins. Yes, 9 one day. Yeah, I'm gonna take it at that. A nice little.
I actually really like this explosion. This one's beautiful. That's a funny looking sponge you got there.
Yeah, it's one of those grungy textures, but it makes it easier to kind of block out it by making it look a bit natural.
I got you.
The edges that, you know, make sure that they're pure black.
It is quite enlightening. This is something that I really, we talked about it before. Because one thing I try and do with Max before we do start the streams out is we go, okay, so what can we do that's actually going to be informative for the audience?
That's number of frames 16, number of frames per row 4.
That's soixante in French. What is it? What is it in Dutch?
So we're going to close particle forge for that, and we're going to copy the new texture anim.
I pushed Max to his max. Push it to the limit.
Go on then. You're a man.
What?
You heard me. No, not Nemesis.
What is it in Welsh?
Pop de ping.
It's not pop de ping.
It's pop de ping.
It is indeg chwech. I'm not even kidding. That's what 16 is in Welsh.
Well, look at that suddenly. Oh, look at how randomized that explosion now it looks now.
That's looking good, man. Yeah, I think that was a good idea on your part. It's working nice.
We can do it a bit better now. If we change the coloring just to be pure white, it will.
Ooh, I've got some Dutch writing to read. I always enjoy this. Hey, is he telling me the truth? Well, if Max laughs his ass off, I'll know this isn't entirely true. Apparently, 16 is Negaden Zestig.
That's 69.
Oh.
It's pronounced 69.
That's what I said. Can you go with that one again?
69.
Negaden Zestig. Yeah?
How about you say this word where my mouse is at right now?
Hang on, where is it? Is it Cop J? I know that one. Where's your mouse? I can't even see it. Is it on a different screen? Oh, here we go. What? I'm in the past! Was I bang on, yeah?
Why? It's alright. I really like this new explosion.
Yeah, I think that's really, really nice.
I did a little yellow overlay so they appear a bit more yellow.
Oh, apparently it's Zestin.
Zestine.
Okay.
Save. Just gonna overwrite the original Fed explosion then. Now let's test this on the photon torpedo. Explode Fed. What the name this stuff? Fed web photon impact. Poff.
Pop, 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 pop.
Oh, this is not accurate. Initial flash. Yeah, that's still to the wrong.
So once you're done with that little bit, should we have a cheeky little look at the way that you did the Romy explosion?
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Do you? In fact, do you still have STA3? As always,
look at that! Now the photon torpedo impact. Every time it's...
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's good, man.
Once I have the other explosiony things again, it will be even better.
Does anybody have more questions? We're looking for more questions, folks.
Yeah! This was everything. Well, peeps, questions?
Questions?
Questions.
Oh, you're doing this for everything now, eh?
Yeah.
Does that explosion cast flashes or lights? Or is it a light source, effectively? It's just a flat texture, moved to face the camera. It doesn't cast a light source, sadly. We really wish it did. It'd be amazing if, for example, a phaser beam cast a light source. It'd be remarkable, but it doesn't. Perhaps one day when we get Sins 2 confirmed.
Hashtag Sins 2.
Hashtag Sins 2.
I'll open the Romulan thing in a minute.
It's alright, mate. You know, you just do your thing.
Boom, boom.
Okay, Vegeta. Vegeta would like to know why is the sky blue? Because there's an absolute shit ton of sea and it's reflecting. I'm lying. No, I'm telling the truth.
Hashtag all lies. Hashtag all lies.
Cardassian misdemeanor.
Cardassian intelligence never lies.
And what is the meaning of life? Well, that's a very complex thing because it means different things to different people. Max, I'm sure, would concur that it's booty, 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 booty.
Money, 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 money. Yeah,
money, money,
yeah.
money, money. That's another one. Yeah.
So we've never done this before, Chris. Again.
Cryptic. That's very, very old Welsh. In our bumtheg means 15 and 1. Well, technically the translation is 1 on top of 15. In our bumtheg is never ever used in conversational Welsh. In the Chwech is a lot easier, which of course means 10. It actually, the literal translation is 10 and 6.
Now let's see the Romulan singularity explosion.
Oh, Max, it's time for a Dutch off. Jerome.
Oh look, this is the singularity.
Jerome would like me to say, zeg tegen Max dat ik midden scheppen de garden ankel on zingen explosions. Zitjen.
Yeah, but he's Belgian, so he's not really Dutch.
Well, do you know what? Yeah, we were actually talking about that earlier, Hayden. It's super duper cool that the guy who played Weyoun is coming back, and of course he played what's his face as well?
Brunt. FCA.
And I think we're going to get some Brunt stuff as well. Pretty awesome.
So what happens here is this is like a super complex particle. I don't even know how I did this stuff myself. What it does initially is it spawns the particles of the explosion first, and then it shrinks them and forces them to a point. That point, and then some other stuff that does is shriggly woo. It's been a while. What's more impressive is this one. No, it won't put the models.
Max, YouTube has a challenge for you.
Which is?
Cryptic wants you to try and say a word.
Where?
It says, please say... You're about as good at Welsh as I am at Dutch. Although they both use don't they, which is interesting. and it is a cool particle effect, that. It's a shame we didn't use it a little bit more. Joe just says, I just love to hear girl talk Dutch. Schran, of course. Schran. You two should try German.
Oh no, you don't want me going German.
No, actually, no Max. No Max. Channel strike incoming. What was I going to say? German's always an interesting language if you're if you're a native Brit, because you understand 1 in 4 words. Like 1 in every 4 German words, somebody who speaks English natively just understands that word, and they're like, "What?" And then it goes.
Explosion high impact.
Are these STA ones?
No.
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna think I've made them completely from scratch. Of course, I based them off the 3. Made new textures for pretty much everything of it, though. Like new flashes.
I don't think that's a very good idea, Kiryu. I don't think I'd do very well at all.
What would they ask you to do?
They're challenging me to do a Japanese introduction to one of my videos. Maybe I'll just get...
First person that says the correct thing, chat will get gold medal.
Oyama.
Nani?
I don't understand what's happening.
How do I know, Cryptic? I'm not a complete jackass. Also, that's just really not a correct translation of that phrase.
I think it's Voltoity fine.
Let's have a look at how these explosions are looking.
Voltoity is, of course, the translation for completely. In my mind.
That's how it works.
It absolutely is. You can put Y on the end of anything and it becomes the plural.
Oh boy.
Alright, Tyler would like to know, so when will this mod be ready for release to the crazy fans? We don't know. We're developing it as we go.
And also, you've just delayed the mod by half a year.
That is our commitment. That's our commitment to our fans. Every time they ask for a release date, we delay it by 6 months.
Yep. God, I love Connor's loading screens.
They are very, very good. Yeah, we're still in kind of early doors when it comes to development, really. We've got a lot of work to do. I'd almost certainly... I can say for sure that it's not coming out anytime over the next 3 months.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything beyond that, it might be fair game, but it depends on our work rate. All of us, all of the developers, of course, we've all got full-time jobs. Many of us have got families. I haven't, sadly, but Max has got a cabal of 74 women that he needs to satisfy. And 4 men, but we don't talk about that.
Gala's one of them.
I'm 3 of them. I just come back with like a different comedy moustache because he's just that good.
So let's blow up an Ares class, shall we?
Okay. Do we have to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kill.
But only to the fans. Everyone else gets it on time.
That blew up.
It certainly appears to have done. When you start doing those damage meshes. That big block just randomly
Oh no, I killed the
springing out of
Enterprise.
things.
That's literally the Enterprise that I just killed. Blast.
Take that, Archer! You were better in Sliders! Oh no, it wasn't Sliders. Quantum Leap!
Yeah, except for that am I retarded scene.
Will there be an open beta? No.
There will be a beta. It won't be open.
Yeah, there will be a beta, but when we release, it's not necessarily going to be the full version. So you will get a version to have a look at, give us feedback on while we continue development. In very much the same way. Oh, that's nice. That's looking really good, Max.
That's stock.
That's why I love it.
Just blew everything up. Shame I can't blow them. Oh, no, not everything. Here we have a lowly shipyard. Oh, ah!
String it.
That's a really strong ability called String Not Found.
Real Madrid just got smashed by Juventus.
I don't bloody care.
Huh. I'm just a little surprised.
Look at that beautiful ship. Beautiful, like, light baked. Oh.
Oh. Right, guys, we better end the stream here. We've been jabbering for a bit now. I hope part of this has been enjoyable and informative for you guys. Come back next week. We're doing another one next Wednesday, I expect. Barring anything weird happening. And of course, make sure that you are subscribed to Bane and Bros as well, both on Twitch and YouTube, because he does a similar stream on Tuesdays. He does often slightly different subsets of code than me. Max is usually there as well, not always, but usually. So if you really want to learn about coding in Sins and generally computer game coding and texturing and all that good kind of behaviour, this is a good place to be.
I think we do a lot of more experimenting and trying out new stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think Bane goes into streams knowing exactly what he wants to do, and he tries to do it. Whereas you and I, we have a bit more of a faff, don't we?
Bye, Crossfield.
No. Nice. Very nice indeed. Are we likely to do dev matches close to the completion of the mod? No, we're definitely going to do them. And I'll almost certainly be doing streams. Any other streams for me tonight? No, sadly not, Cryptic. It is a what I would call a school night. I work during the week, and I have to get up at 5 AM. In order to get ready for work and get on the train and what have you. So it's not feasible for me to be able to stream after 10, and there's no point having a 45-minute stream. Oh god, I'm sorry, Graham. I'm so sorry, Graham. Why do the ships sink? Artistic. It's kind of an artistic decision.
It's a Sins thing. No, they don't see. Cap ships do it. For some reason.
They actually don't have to. You can change that, but...
No.
Hmm?
No. The cruisers, they act normally. They go in the direction whichever they were going, but cap ships sink.
Hmm. I think it's to make their deaths more dramatic, isn't it?
Yeah, it might be something in gameplay of constants, but...
there is something somewhere that I've seen. I'm sure I'll be able to find it in the future.
Oh well.
But anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next stream. I am likely to be streaming again tomorrow. I can't remember what it was, but I know I wanted to do a catch-up stream.
He's streaming pop dipping.
I'm streaming my microwave just going. Guys, have a lovely evening.
Adios, muchachos.